Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Fifth Set. Today is a super special episode because I have early access to the Yonex VCore Series 8. This is the spin-oriented racket in their lineup, and I'm super excited to try it out. So I'm going to play some points, I'm going to do some warm-ups with it, and I'll give you my full unfiltered thoughts. Let's go. All right guys, so I'm just going to hit down the middle first with the racket and see how it feels.
Alright guys, thank you for tuning in to this racket review. I'm super excited to share with you my thoughts, and what I'll do in this video is take you through the experience of hitting ground strokes with a racket, volleys, serving, and some points play, and I'm also going to explain to you the 4S Advantage framework, which actually breaks down the new changes and technology that make this Series 8 racket a better version of the VCore Series 7. But to get started, let's talk about how this racket felt right off the bat. I've never used a VCore before. This is the first time for me hitting with a VCore, and when I was told that this is the spin racket in the Yonex lineup, the one thing I did not expect was to still be able to generate a lot of pretty easy power on my ground strokes, as you can see here. I don't think I'm having to necessarily swing faster or harder to get the power on my ground strokes. Keep in mind, I use an EZone, and that's one of the best power rackets on the market, but I didn't feel I lost anything with this racket. If anything, I maintained most of my power, but naturally, given the trajectory of the ball and the spin capability of the racket, I got a little bit more control. So, dare I say, the VCore made me a better player across both metrics. I don't know if that's possible because usually one has to give with rackets, but I really enjoyed this VCore, and from the baseline and from the ground strokes, it felt fantastic. I was timing it super well. But let's quickly talk about the volleys.
Honestly, I really like this racket. From the baseline, it feels great. I'm really getting a ton of spin, but really whipping through, and I play just as good as with this racket as I do with my normal EZone, so really positive, but let's see how it does in the volleys.
So before we started filming, my hitting partner, Samer, in this video, told me he had used a VCore before and that it was phenomenal at the net. And that didn't quite make sense to me. I didn't know why specifically a spin racket would feel so good at the net. But lo and behold, he was correct. I think this was by far the most surprising and biggest change to my game using this racket, is that it felt super stable at the net. And I'm not great at the net, so the fact that I was able to place the volleys pretty well, get these back even though he was hitting a few of these quite hard at me, was a really big bonus, to be honest. And I think I go like 30 to 45 seconds here without missing a volley. So yeah, really solid at the net and full marks at the net, like just 10 out of 10 on the volleying, which actually surprises me. But with that being said, let's now talk about the technology.
Okay, so it feels amazing on the volleys, but ultimately, how does it do in point play or match play? So I'll play a quick tiebreak and you guys can see what it's like.
Alright folks, as you guys watch me play out a couple of points here, let me explain to you the 4S advantages of the VCore. So what do the 4 S's stand for, first of all? They stand for sweet spot, snapback, speed, and stability. So let me actually review the technical specifications and the details of the racket and take you through each of these. So sweet spot. The new VCore has a larger sweet spot with more consistent spin for two reasons. They've extended the frame's top length, creating a bigger sweet spot, and they've extended the tapered inner frame at the top, which improves flex and ball pocketing. All in all, this gives you a 4% larger sweet spot when compared to the previous model. And look, who doesn't love a larger sweet spot? So that's the first S. The second S is snapback. So here what they've done is they've redesigned the top frame grommet, and while the previous model had a vertically oval hole, the new design uses a horizontal oval shape, which gives you more movement and more snapback. Now let me just be honest here, a lot of that technicality is way too technical, and a little bit of that kind will be lost on me because I'm not an expert. But for those of you who are experts and wanted to know that, that is the reason for the snapback improvement that gives you more spin. The next one is speed. So what they've done with the new racket is they've redesigned the aerodynamic frame to enhance your swing speed. And because with more speed, you're able to generate more spin. So again, another change to the racket, which gives you greater spin output. And last but not least, stability. Now, I'm not gonna fully read out everything here, but just to give you an idea, what Yonex have basically said is because of their flexible carbon fiber alignment, strengthened carbon fiber alignment, and flexible carbon fiber alignment again in the shaft of the racket, it basically gives you more stability and ultimately powerful and confident spin. Like I said, a little bit over my head when I read about all the very, very technical specifications, but I'll put some of this in a summary in the caption so you guys can review it. And for those of you who are experts and can understand all of the language and how this would impact your game, feel free to let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, because I'm always willing to learn from more experienced players than myself. But with that being said, in a second here, let me share with you some points where I started serving as well. And I will share a few more thoughts and then we'll get into it. So I didn't serve for too long with the racket. That was more so because we were pressed for time on the day. But here's what I will say. I didn't struggle to serve with this racket the way I sometimes do with new rackets, just because I'm very used to my EZone and I really like serving with my EZone. But again, I didn't feel like I lost a ton of power, probably even better on the second serve to generate spin and kick. So from that perspective, I served pretty well. Would I say I prefer serving with the VCore over my EZone? Look, I'm going to say no for the time being. That's not to say that the VCore isn't good. It's more so I'm very used to my EZone and I get a little bit more pop, and that's just what I like, hitting really flat hard for a service when I can. So I would still choose the EZone on the serving, but definitely not bad by any means. And although I don't hit a particularly good service here, I think a little bit later on the clip, you'll see when I do get the hang of it, a few more serves and a few more serves with a bit of pop start coming off the sweet spot of the racket. Now, very quickly, again, I'll put some of this maybe in the caption or you guys can kind of do your own research, but it's a huge lineup in this new Yonex VCore Series 8 launch, right? So they're gonna have the VCore 95, the VCore 98 Tour, which is brand new. Then you've got the VCore 98, VCore 98 Plus, VCore 98L, VCore 100 Drive, which is new, VCore 100, VCore 100 Plus, and VCore 100L. So tons of option. And I'm sure for every player, there is a specific sub-model within the VCore lineup that would make sense for you. And like I said, I won't go through all of that now, but check it out in the caption. I'll put some details or a link to the Yonex pages where you can read about it. But look, just before I let you guys go, my thoughts are, I was really, really impressed with the racket. Super surprised. I love playing with it, and hand on heart, genuinely, and I'm not just saying this, I am considering swapping from the EZone to the VCore. Just need to decide whether I use a 98 or 100 square inch version, but I'm very tempted to change things up. That's how impressed I was with the racket, to be honest with you. So let's see what I decide in the next couple of weeks. But thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. In this match play footage, what's really funny is that you've probably seen me lose a ton of points because Sam has hit some incredible passing shots past me and hit some great winners. But that really is a testament to the VCore, because he's also using a VCore. So you've seen Samar maybe hit like 4 crazy passing winners by me and get the better of me, but he is using a VCore here, and this was his first time using this new racket. So it says a lot about the VCore either way, whether I was crafting a good point or he was. But these are my full, honest, unfiltered thoughts. Any questions, let me know in the comments. If you've used it, you're thinking of buying it, or you use other rackets and you want to put some thoughts in the comments for folks to talk about, please do, because it's super helpful for us all to have a conversation about it. And I think I have some final thoughts here from my time on the court, and then I will leave that be and see you guys soon. But let me leave you with a few thoughts I had on the day as I wrapped up shooting with the new Yonex VCore Series 8.
it felt great. Honestly, I'm used to a power racket, so this spin racket, I was curious how I would do, but honestly, it felt great. I felt like I had the same amount of power as usual, but really got some good spin on it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if you have any questions, let me know.